back to They Did What? Your source of the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'll be covering part 24 of the longest running story in this channel, which is titled, While Wife Thought Her Affair Was Going Unnoticed, Husband Was Playing the Long Game Preparing for War. And guys, here we are, 24. I predicted 25 by the end of the year. There's hope. There's less than 2 weeks in the year, but we're on 24. And our guy here, who is hilarious, is posting an update what's going on with him. Few things going on. Big news, that girlfriend from India is heading back to her home country, as well as other things here about what he's doing, how he's been struggling, not struggling, but what he's learned over the last year, and things going forward. And you guys all enjoy it as much as I do, so I'm going to post what's going on with him. So he says here, my cake day on Reddit was on the 15th. That was the first time I reached out and told my story. I had already been on Reddit with a different account. Honestly, I didn't know subreddits like infidelity or cheating stories existed. There's everything on Reddit. There's an account for everything. While looking at where to post, I happened upon the adultery subreddit. In case you didn't know, the adultery subreddit is where people who are cheating on their significant others post and get support for one another. So you have mistresses complaining about how their sugar daddy's wife and kids are monopolizing his time, and other scummy, demented shit like that. That's where my adultery subreddit pro tips came from. Really? There's actually subreddits where the cheaters, the mistresses, and all complain? Hilarious. Well, I created a new user account and decided to post on infidelity and cheating stories, and my posts were promptly put in limbo due to the fact that my new user had zero karma. The infidelity one eventually got approved, but had several days of posts in front of it, and very few people saw it. I realized I needed to build up karma in order to get support. I talked in a previous post of what I did, but I eventually built up enough karma to be added to the post and not have to wait for approval. So this story of his, which so many of you guys have watched, and obviously, it's died down over time, but a lot of you guys really like this guy, and that's why I'm doing it. In the beginning, once he got it right in terms of the configurations of Reddit, then it went through the roof. But initially, his story didn't get much attention. Then people started reading my post, and the rest is history. I guess I look back on the infidelity subreddit, and the post where I served Emily divorce papers is like the third top all-time post. Behind the guy whose brother fathered his kids, so he knocks him out every time he sees him. And a poor lady who thinks something's wrong with her because she was cheated on by her husband and then her first boyfriend after her divorce. Just goes to show you that cheating is a character thing and not a gender thing. Yeah, cheating goes back and forth. But did you hear that? Top third post of all time in that subreddit. Well, not surprised. Well, last weekend, me and some of Shrea's other friends, I'm calling them the Diwali crowd, helped to move her stuff into a storage unit. Here we go. The Indian babe is going back to India. She gave away a ton of her furniture and clothes to her girlfriends. I'm not laughing about the furniture, I'm laughing about the clothes. You all remember him describing how she dresses pretty skimpy when she goes out to the gym and all that? Can't wear that when she goes back to India to get married to Raj, Kuthrapali, or Naveen, or whoever the fuck her parents arranged her to be with. I noticed the clothes she got rid of were pretty much all of her less conservative outfits. Swimsuits, workout gear, club wear. He says, Mom and Dad would not approve. She took about 4 giant suitcases full of stuff to my house. She's ready to pay for the extra fees for the plane, I guess. She seems very interested in staying close together with me, and we didn't leave the house much. I ended up taking a couple days off. Well, he's going to get a lot of the goodbye sex and all that, because once she's gone, she ain't coming back. Obviously, she's in her 20s, she's getting hitched. And frankly, this guy and her should not talk if she gets arranged with some other dude. That ain't fair to Raj or Naveen or whoever she gets hooked up with back in India. Well, she was pretty emotional at the airport, but she said that her parents would not accept a divorced older Gora for a son-in-law. A Gora? See, I learned something new every day, guys. G-O-R-A. I'm going to Google that later. I felt sad just because of the role she occupied in my life as the only other person I've ever had a S-word relationship with other than my wife, and her help in getting over the emasculation caused my wife's cheating. We both knew going into it was going to be temporary, but I think it may have hit her harder. Either that or she's putting on a big show for my benefit. I appreciate it either way. Look, This woman came into his life at the right time. You all have been watching from the beginning how much suffering was going on. He met her out somewhere. I forget the exact circumstances. And she was a good distraction, aside from all the great pussy he was getting from her and all the cooking. Although our guy needs to lose the 15 pounds he put on by eating all her good Indian food. But it helped him get through it. Helped rebuild his confidence, another chick and all that. And now they're parting ways. End of story, moving on. You know? That's the way I see it. It's interesting how life works out. It's weird. I feel a vague sense of loss. But I know it was expected and life will go on. Yes, brother, it will go on. It was a sharp contrast to the end of my marriage, which was a fundamental paradigm shift of where I thought my life was headed. I think the difference is I had a vision and expectation of the future with my wife, and absolutely none with Shrea. Well, there you go. That's a little key for life. Don't have any expectations. Be indifferent. Have a good time with whoever you're with, but don't build attachments. End of story. That's why this guy's not suffering here. I'm kind of torn now. Should I enter into any relationship with no vision of its outcome and no expectations of the course it will take? Just go to day with the knowledge that everything could shit the bed at any minute. Yes, you should go through that. It will protect yourself, and it's realistic. I think I should at least withhold myself until I see some kind of being reciprocal from the other end. But what if the other person feels the same way and holds it back? Then it's some kind of fueled up love-based Mexican standoff. It doesn't seem fair or realistic to wait for her being reciprocating while not giving anything to yourself. Dude, relax. Everything's going to be fine. Remember his last post and he edited it saying, I'm forever changed. And the first sense of bullshit I get from any woman, I'm out of there. Well, remember that, bro. You got to have that attitude. You were indifferent with Shrea. You didn't go into any expectations. And look, you had a great time. That's what you got to do. Because when men get attached, that's the problem. You know, they build up all these expectations and hopes and dreams of the future and all that crap. Don't fall for that crap. That happens to so many guys. Not to mention, there are a lot of, as we know, evil women out there. He was married to one, and they will take advantage of that. And also, if he wants to have his fun for a while, women are drawn to guys that are indifferent because they don't chase after them and beg for their attention like most guys out there. End of story. I think he'll be fine. He's losing his hot Indian babe, so you know he's now having a break from the steady pussy he was getting. Well, since Shrea is gone, the only female companionship I have is my kitten. She's completely black, so it's hard to take a good picture of her. Yes, our brother adopted a cat. That is awesome. Shout out to all the animal lovers out there. And I'm a cat person, so good for him. I call her Beans because she's outgoing and sassy. I say I call her Beans because she doesn't respond to anything except the sound of that shaking can of cat treats that makes. I didn't end up adopting a puppy, the deal fell through, and I haven't tried very hard for any replacement. My cat Beans has decided that I'm a piece of furniture, like a favorite lamp or something like that. She'll sit 3 feet away from me, facing the wrong direction, pretending she's not keeping tabs on me. If I move, she relocates. If I stay too long, she leaves like I'm becoming boring. It feels quite familiar somehow. She'll then disappear for hours at a time, then reappear like nothing happened, demanding food and affection on her terms. Honestly, she might be the most emotionally well-adjusted female in my life right now. Brother, as a cat person, I don't know if he's going to watch this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. You have a new kitten. She's getting used to you, getting used to your house or condo or apartment. Give the cat time and space. Next thing you know, that cat's going to be sitting on your lap all the time when you're watching Netflix. And as that girl cat gets older, around the time period when she could have kittens, but obviously cannot because I'm assuming she's fixed that she can't have kittens because you want to make sure that they're fixed. Because otherwise you're going to have so many kittens around. By about that time when she'd be mothering kittens, she's going to mother you. She's going to be on you all the time, watching out for you. You go to the bathroom to take a dump, she's out there meowing and banging on the door. She's worried about you. If you close the door at night and don't let her in your room, she's going to be there banging on the she'll learn eventually boundaries. The point is, don't let the cat's indifference bother you too much. It's just their nature. She's getting used to you. And all the people out there that are cat people know exactly what I'm talking about here. And by the way, there are a lot of similarities between cats and women in their behavior. If you really analyze it, it's pretty darn funny. Anyway, had to say that. On the female prospect front, I figure I'll enjoy the quiet a bit. Well, good. You should. At least for the holidays. There's a gal in my gym accountability group that I work out with sometimes. She seems pretty serious about losing weight and getting fit due to the doctor diagnosing her as pre-diabetic. She said that's how her grandfather died, so she's determined, and she's been at it for 3 months and has lost 20 pounds. Well, cool. Good for her. She's down to earth and pleasant, but she's all business at the gym. She's already planning on being at the gym on the 26th of December. Like I said, quite serious. I don't want to script the accountability group, though, so I'll just be nice, funny, and helpful for now. I'm pretty thick when it comes to girls indicating interest, so it'll probably be a dead end, but I really admire her drive and tenacity. Well, that's cool. You can admire her drive and tenacity, and you're going to watch over time as her body gets in better shape and everything. If you like her and you get along, maybe down the road when she's no longer in that group that you're going to go to all the time, then you ask her out if you like her. But focus on the gym where you're trying to lose the weight you got eating all that good curry and naan and all that stuff that she made for you when Shrea was here. That's your purpose. And you can also be alone for a while. There's nothing wrong with that. In the group chat, Lisa said her oldest daughter wants to change her name to Lisa's maiden name. Whoa. Remember, Lisa is the wife of the guy that was banging his now ex-wife for a while. She's divorcing him. Lisa's changing back to her maiden name as part of the divorce with John, and their oldest daughter wants to do the same. She's not 18 yet, though. I think she's 16 or maybe 17 now. I doubt she can change it without John's consent. I don't know the law, though. If I were her, I would hold off until John paid off my college tuition. I think she really needs therapy. Infidelity is a bomb with lots of collateral damage. Right there. His cheating didn't just screw his wife over, but also his family and kids. I'd also like to announce my greatest achievement this year. When we talk, Matt and his wife already referred to their baby as the baby. So I took it upon myself to name her Baroness Peabody von Pupperschlubber, whatever. The U is important. I stress this. You can't just slap it on a name and not commit to it. That's cultural appropriation. I told him that the name gives her old money gravitas while honoring her life's achievements. Much chuckling and eye-rolling ensued. I'm sure they're seriously taking it under advisement. But either way, she's just Baroness Peabody to me until she gets married. Well, I'm headed down to the Villages on the 24th to spend Christmas with Dad and his girlfriend and 2 sons. I'm leaving Beans the cat with Bob and his girlfriend. I briefly considered taking Beans with me, then remembered that she panics if I move the coffee table just 6 inches. Don't take the cat with you now. Let the cat be in the home environment and have the friends check up on her, or whatever. So Bob was babysitting because he and his girlfriend are the only friends Beans has met. I told him that this will be the test of whether or not they can be good parents. No pressure, guys. He says, it's a boring update, I know, but I was feeling a little introspective the day after dropping Shrea off at the airport. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. Well, there you go. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, bro, and we're happy to say that over on this channel. So, guys, this is a guy, we've been through his whole story, who is now dealing with post-divorce life. It's interesting, you know? Had a girlfriend for a while, a fling, that ended, she moved away. Now he's already looking at another one, but back and forth on things. Got himself a new place to live, got himself a cat, all that. His whole life is starting over, and it's quite interesting. A lot of guys go through this, but our guy's going to be okay. But again, you know, I would not be surprised if the Shrea girl reaches out to him. At least until she's supposed to be hitched with some other guy. And at that point, then, I would advise this guy, if she's with another guy in a range, because that's what it sounds like what was going to happen there, he shouldn't be talking to her, because that ain't cool to Raj or Naveen. In spite of all my jokes about Raj and Naveen, poor Raj and Naveen, they're going to have no idea that the girl they're going to get hitched with for the arranged marriage, Shrea, was definitely living it up here in the US of A in her skimpy outfits amongst many other things. We can only speculate on those things. And you think she's going to tell Raj or Naveen? I think not. You know? But next thing you know, she may show up at the airport and be looking for our guy here because she misses him. Who knows? But anyhow, guys, that's what's going on with him. And hey, you know what? We still got 2 weeks left in the year. There may be part 25. I can see, like, literally Christmas Eve, his ex-wife Emily shows up crying and begging for a second chance. And, you know, more drama there because it ain't over. I'm convinced it's not over with Emily. Now, a few comments from the guys here. One guy says here, he says, my friend, your updates are never boring. I'm happy for you that every day is a step forward. Shrea was the right place at the right time. You needed her, and I'm sure it's sad, but she provided you with a start of a path forward. That's what I said. It's amazing how people can come into your life at the right time, and they depart at the right time. Enjoy Christmas. Beans is in good hands. She's the only woman you need right now until someone crosses your path. I wish you the best and hope in 2026 and the exact opposite of 2025. You have lives, 5 lifetimes in 12 months. Take some time, read a good book. I know you love reading. This time of year, I always read Crime and Punishment. During Christmas, one day at a time. And do keep us updated. I and my wife have told her the entire story of rooting for you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And one more. This guy says, thanks for the updates. You sound like you're coming out of the worst now, and I wish you the best in 2026 to be well, happy, and peaceful. Below are my thoughts as a mom of many years with kids your age. Okay, this is from a woman who's older. She says, I think Shrea was a great way to build you back up to your traumatic breakup. But from what you described, she really doesn't sound like the end game at all. Wrong person, right time, so to speak. I agree with that. I wouldn't want Shrea as a long-term type of thing. She was the right place, right time, but now she's off to India. I think maybe it's time you choose and approach the next partner. Let me explain. Emily made all the moves on you, and you thought, oh, yeah, nice girl, why not? Shrea made all the moves on you, and you thought, oh, yeah, nice girl, why not? I need a boost, why not? Maybe the right girl for you won't be, as I dare say, pushy and forward. Maybe the right girl for you is shyer, less assertive, less aggressive. I could be way off base here, but I think maybe your picker isn't wrong, like you said, but maybe you've been waylaid by the wrong type on your journey to peace. All the best. Well, that's an interesting point, but at the end of the day, this guy should not be focusing on the next girl. This guy should be focusing on, well, losing that 15 pounds from all the good Indian food and taking care of that cat, focusing on his career, his business, making money, success, good health, all that, and a pretty girl comes along the way because our guy's a relationship guy, great. But when he tries to make it like his end-all be-all, or he's got to have a relationship now, that's where people make mistakes. But I again back up to what he said about how, he had the indifferent attitude with Shrea, and look how this babe from India was treating him. She obviously was very good looking. He had a lot of fun both in the kitchen and the bedroom. Good time, because there was no attachment. There was no thought of the future. That's why all guys should go into relationships with. Women chase after the guys that aren't that attached, that are indifferent. And I don't mean or a jerk, but just, without any major plans. Meanwhile, the guys that are chasing after them and immediately planning their future on the second date, they're like, ugh, they avoid them like the plague. Something to think about. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. This guy does know about this channel, so give him a shout out. Wish him well. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and all that. And maybe, just maybe, we'll hit that 25. I predicted 25 by the end of this year. There's still 2 weeks left, give or take. There's going to be one. I know it. I don't care if he does a video talking about his cat the whole time. Frankly, I'd probably enjoy that. But going to hit that 25. I know it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.